Hello, Josh. So Lacey and Josh, if you would please let me know that you can hear me and see the screen in the question box in front. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Here we go. So the very first thing that I want to make sure that you all realize is that you have a user guide, you have access to tech support, access to mastermind webinars, and then there is a really neat marketing help called learn.infusionsoft.com-marketing, and you'll be getting this recording as well, so you'll have this information, so you don't need to write that down. We're going to go into the application and see where these pieces are as well, so you always know where to get those learning resources or the help that you need. This is what we're going to do today. Learn how to add a contact, as well as how other contacts come into Infusionsoft. So do they come in through web forms and imports and internal forms, and then of course by one at a time. A few great apps that we have that are connected to Infusionsoft: introduction to tags, how do we do a simple import, how to go over or how to view your list in a couple of different ways, and then different ways to search for a contact, how to save a search, how to add a tag to a contact, and take a look at the contact record in detail. And then I also like to put those saved searches on your dashboard to show you how to do that. So customer relationship management means that it helps you keep track of communication, keeping track of important details, helps you keep track of what list the contact belongs to, and keeping track of tasks or appointments. Mobile app Snap is what we have. It's our mobile application. So you're going to be going to the App Store, the Google Store, and downloading its Infusionsoft Mobile, and it's free. And what this Snap part of it does, it used to be a standalone application called Snap, and what it would do is take a picture of a business card, send it off into transcription land. Then it tells you that it's been transcribed, and you get to view it, and then you get to tag it. So tagging, we'll get into that so you can understand that a little bit better. And then we also have a sync for Gmail as well as Outlook. So what it looks like is when you open up your email, you're going to have a column on the right-hand side that opens up that says your contact information on the top right there, as you can see, and then tasks and notes and follow-up sequences, if any, and then tags that they're associated with. That is free as well, and that is in the Infusionsoft Marketplace. So I mentioned tags. Tags are used to help organize your contacts inside Infusionsoft. So you have maybe a list in, say you're using MailChimp or Constant Contact, you're going to have probably several lists of contacts, and those contacts might be on several of those different lists. So you might have 15 lists in one of those other senders. In Infusionsoft, you're going to have one big pile of people, but we segment them by tags. So instead of having tons of lists, we have one, and each person is going to have several tags on them. So it's like putting a bunch of names on them. And I'll give you some examples. So we have prospect, customer, dog lover, cat lover, dental phobic. So those are kind of characteristics of people, but then we also have actions: requested, attended, visitor, opened, and clicked. So if you see that, we can also record or track their actions, their activities. And then you can also see who is an active or an engaged participant, or someone that's, you don't even know if they're breathing on the other side. You're going to be getting this today in your little goodie bag. Judy will be sending this recording out to you later on, as well as an insider's guide to mastering tags and categories in Infusionsoft. And then when, here's some other things that you can do with tags. When doing an import, you can apply or remove a tag on individual contact records, automatically in a campaign, automatically in an email link, and to an entire group. That would be like importing your contacts, or when you do a search, you can add a tag. We call it a mass tag application, or using Infusionsoft mobile app. So when adding a contact, we always have to ask permission. Hello, Lee. You're going to be receiving this recording, so not to worry, you didn't miss too much in the beginning. You're also going to be receiving this little goodie. It's an email resource handbook. And we need to always make sure that we have the best list hygiene when putting them into Infusionsoft. So importing contacts, we need to make sure that your list is clean, getting rid of fields that you don't need, make sure your list is current, organize your lists before importing, and check for duplicates. And we'll work on that later. So today we want to make sure that we can do these things, and that is the challenge for you when we're done. I want you to be able to do these basic things and then start playing with it on your own and make Infusionsoft yours. This is your baby. This is your thing to play with. You can't hurt it. Of course, we can make boo-boos here and there, but that's how we also learn. So just put some sample contacts in there and start playing around with it and have fun with it. Anyone have any questions so far? All right, we'll get into the application. And we're in my application for this because we all have our own apps, and I put some stuff in here for a little bit of training, and then I also use it on my own. So I have been my reunion coordinator for my high school, and so I've got some searches and things put in there. I'm also the choir director for my church, so I have people in here for that, and I'll show you different examples of how I use that. It's a little easier to learn when you have real working examples as well. So we talked about learning resources, and the very first thing we want to look at is where to find those. So if we come all the way over here to our little question mark, then we have a community resource and the help center, and then also join a local user group and then chat support. So let's take a look at the Ask the Community. This is a new feature in here. And it's pretty cool. I haven't gotten to play with it yet. Obviously, I haven't logged in. So something to look at. I think you should take a peek at that and try that. And then we have the Help Center. And the Help Center is where you're going to find video and written communication. So browsing the instruction manuals, we have Getting Started, Contact Management. Let's take a peek at that. Create and manage contacts. Create a new contact record. And then it's going to take you step by step through that process with images. Or you have webinars, just like you signed up for today's basic training, and Infusionsoft Mastermind. User guide is another way to look at those step-by-step instructions, just a different layout. And then video library is the same information just in video form. So user guide here is step-by-step written, video library in visual form, and this is the way I learn best. So I want to know how to manage tags. I'm going to watch a little video about that. If I see someone doing something, I learn a lot faster. So keep that in mind. You also have mastermind webinars here that all you do is click on view all. You can see all the archived videos over here and then register for the mastermind here. So every week, I think at 1 o'clock or 1:30 on Thursdays Pacific time. Then this is, you'll get a reminder as well, but if you put your text and your phone number in here, if you want a text reminder, then you'll be able to log into that meeting whenever you want to. Or, I mean, not whenever you want to, when you have the time for that. And then you also have the archived videos over here. And it talks a little bit about marketing as well as deeper dive into pieces of Infusionsoft. What else here? Support. We have API information, release notes, known issues, user groups, and this is something that's fun too. If you would like to join a user group, click on that. It is, there's always a moderator. It's a physical meeting. So like tomorrow or Thursday here, we have a user group happening that happens every month, I think, maybe every other month, at least this one. And it's just a good networking opportunity. Infusionsoft University, and not just networking, but also talking about Infusionsoft and solving user questions and things like that. So it's really cool. Infusionsoft University is, there's one coming up in August 15th through the 17th and September 14th, I think. Those are online. So we want to take a peek at that. Maybe. Let's not. So Infusionsoft University is a 3-day intensive workshop that goes over from basics to the harder stuff at the end with e-commerce and referral partners and opportunities and things like that. So this is a very good resource if that's something that you want to get into. And then you have contact support here. You have chat, and then you have phone. All right, now that we have all that taken or out of the way, we're going to hover over our upside down arrow and take a peek at the navigation area. So yours may not look like this. Yours probably looks like this. Customize now. And I like to keep stuff in there because it's just easier for me. So I'm going to click on edit, and I'm going to bring over basic training and dashboard for sure, my day, and maybe contacts for fun. And you can customize those according to what you're in charge of. Maybe there's 3 or 4 of you, and one's in charge of campaigns and one's going to be taking care of the email list and things like that. So just depends on what you want things to look like for you. It's just a favorites bar as really. So in the CRM, we have contacts, companies, opportunities, referral partners, and visitors. We don't get into opportunities or referral partners in this just because these are kind of hairy, and we're just talking about the basics, but that's where they live. Opportunities and referral partners live in the CRM if you have those pieces, if you have that version of Infusionsoft. Then we also have reports and settings associated. So reports are referral partner or they are opportunity based. So you have different reports associated to those. And then settings in our CRM module contain all of our tags and our categories and our scores. That's something else we'll look at the very end. So today we will make sure that we get into tags, tag categories, and scores, and the rest of this is a little more next level, I should say. So let's go and add a contact. Remember we talked, or I just mentioned that we can add a contact several different ways. When you're doing one at a time, there is a little plus sign here. This is just a quick, simple add. Oops. So I'm adding Josh at disney.com, and this little box pops up and it says I have permission to send marketing to this address. You always want to make sure that if you do have permission that you click it, because if you don't, then they are not going to be a marketable contact. So we have permission and we click on save. Now Josh's contact record has just been created, so let's take a look at that. Now if we scroll down, you can see it's the full record. And the only thing we needed was a name and an email, and really the only thing you have to have is something. So maybe you just have a first name or a last name and you don't have an email address. You still can create a contact record with just those minimal pieces of information. It's not optimal, there we go. It's not optimal, but it is possible. So let's add a contact a different way. So that was a little plus sign. We're going to go to our little upside down arrow, go to CRM and then contacts. And remember, you can ask questions anytime. Now this is opening up our contact search area, but we also have contacts here, companies, etc. So let's hover over contacts upside down arrow and add a new contact. And this opens up to something called a standard add contact form. We have different ones that I've created. These are called internal forms that you can fill out and customize. So if you have a team of phone support, so people call in, you might want to create an internal form for them to be able to make sure that they are asking all of the right questions to receive that new contact inside the software, that you're not missing out on anything. Or maybe you don't need a fax number and a Facebook and a time zone. You just want basic information. So creating your own internal form sometimes is best. So we can add one here. Now look, as I start typing, there's nothing there, but the minute I start typing, then I have permission to send marketing to Matt. So remember, if we don't, it's not going to make him marketable. So I click on save. We're a little slow today. And now this opened up to his full contact record. Okay, so we've added one at a time here. We've added one at a time, add a contact through this way. Another way is by a web form on your website, an internal form that I kind of showed you, and then also through a full list through import. So let's take a look at the import information. So import data is over in admin. And the next little step here is to look at a CSV file that I have. This says pick what you would like to import and click on go. So I'm going to click on a CSV file that I have, and it has to be in CSV file format. So click on go, and it's going to search my computer for my people sample, because I downloaded my sample file here just to have a good idea of what my file should look like. And I downloaded that here. Oh, come on. And I want to show that same file to you. Not this one. Okay. So a sample file going into Infusionsoft should have your field headers, of course something in the field, and then the most important part of this, if you have, well, let me just show you an example first. So we have first name, last name, date of birth. I was just kind of playing the other day. Then we have company, lead source. Where did this person come from? Where did John come from? He's a direct mail source. And where did Mindy come from? From John. Job title, salesman, sales. Contact notes, who is John? Or how did he come to be a contact of yours? Met at the winter conference. Now this is the most important part, is what are we tagging John? What kind of name are we putting on him? So we're naming him with prospect, newsletter, and event attendee. So right here there's a tip. It says multiple tags can be entered and separated with a comma. So here's another example, newsletter, comma, customer. Now by that, the minute we do this import, it's going to create two tags, newsletter and customer, and associate them to Mindy. So let's do that sample import and see what that looks like. So it's going to ask about field matching. So you see this little legend up here. The arrow means field matched to an Infusionsoft field. The yield sign says field not matched yet and find a match or create a custom field. Or the little crisscross or the cross sign that says you chose not to import the field. So let's take a look. I've got my field on the left and Infusionsoft fields on the right. So first name, what if it looked like this? So you have a little yield sign. Wait a minute, we've got to make a match. So let's do a drop down and find that first name or what we want to match it to. We have date of birth. Well, in here I had to find the birthday. It says birthday, it doesn't say date of birth. It says birthday that I'm matching that to. That works. The something, I created a custom field for that. I created just a something something. So it says add a custom field. So we'll name this something 1. And it's a text box, or it could be a whole number, or a drill down or day of the week. So there's several different options if you need that. You can also make this required or read only. Save. Now, my something field is going to be matching the something one field. And now that everything is matching all the way down, we're going to go to next. And you may only have a name and email, and that's okay too. Sure makes your imports faster. Now it's asking, they've tried to match my United States to Infusionsoft United States, and it's just asking, is that correct? And here's the most important question. Do you plan on sending email marketing to these contacts? And of course I do. How did they come to your list? About 90% of them have filled a form out on my website. And then you have to put an example here. A few have purchased a product from me, but that does not give me express permission unless they have filled something out during that process that says, yes, I want to be part of your newsletter or your blog or whatever. Attending an event does not give you permission either. I was given an attendee list. They signed up at my booth, or they entered a contest by giving me their email. What this means is I was given an attendee list. Well, you have no idea who I am. You went to a big conference and an event, and there were 100 vendors, and all the vendors get this list, and the chances are that you know the person sending you an email is really slim, and chances are very high that you will spam them. I mean, you will complain that they've spammed you. So we have to be super careful that we are not putting a list in from that type of an event. Now, if they signed up at your booth, sometimes it says often people sign up with false information at trade shows, or their emails get transcribed improperly. You should send a confirmation email to these contacts to ensure that you have the right address so that they can receive that information from you. So that they signed up at your booth to receive what? They signed up to receive your newsletter or maybe a week's worth of a marketing material. They did not sign up to receive your weekly thought for the rest of their life, or whatever that you might want to throw in there just because they signed up for your newsletter. So you have to be very careful that you are, if they bought A, you're giving them A, or if they signed up for B, they're getting B, not the whole alphabet. Does that make sense? Which service provider have you been sending the list through? I've been sending through MailChimp. What methods of opt-in have you been using? Single. How long have you been emailing this list? Oh, about 2 to 3 years. And when was the last time that you sent to this list? So this is another very important question. If it's anything longer than 3 months, then you need to re-opt that list in. So meaning after 100 or after 90 days, you need to ask them if they want to be back on your list if you have not emailed them within the last 90 days. So at least every 90 days, you need to be sending them something. How many emails per month will these contacts be sent? And where this list comes from. And next. This is giving me a sample of what that list looks like. So John, last name, company, etc. Tags. Prospect, comma, newsletter, comma, event attendee. That all worked well. Now here's that next section where we can add a tag to this whole list. So say you had 5,000 people you just imported, and you want to make sure that they have a tag of newsletter connected to them. So let's run some actions. We're going to go to add an action, and we want to add a tag, but you want to see through this list what you could do for this whole entire import that you're doing. So you could cancel subscription with this entire list. You could create an order with this entire list. But most of the time, we are only applying and removing a tag. And then it gives us our tags here that are already done, or we can create a new one. So let's just call this one 7, 18, 2017 blog list. And I want this to be in my e-subscription category, and that's something I created. And create this tag. And now you see, this is the tag, this is the category. Now we'll click on Save. Now it's going to apply this, but it's not done yet. We have to continue. Now it's importing those 3 people and adding that mass tag upon that list. So let's view that list we just imported. So John has his information here. If we click on John, we see all of his contact information. Salesman, he was a direct mail person, his phone numbers, his fax number, email, address, and this address is his billing address. It is what his credit card address would ping off of, or credit card verification would ping off of. Now we look at the tags that he's associated with. So I've used him before, I've used this import before, so there's a couple of things in here that it's recognizing. But 7/18/2017, this blog list was the tag I applied to everybody. Event attendee, newsletter, and prospect were part of that list. And then also, Lee, you have your hand up? I'm so sorry, I didn't see that. In the question box, you're welcome to ask questions. Lee, can you hear me okay? I'm going to unmute you real quick. Lee?
Yes, sorry, I'm looking for the actual box, the question box.
Oh, okay. There is, it should be in your control panel. My little control panel is so small that I didn't see the hand that was sticking up. Sorry about that.
Okay, I've got it now. You can mute me again.
Okay. All right. So these tags, as you can also see, have a category. Now the imported is just a default category that happens on import. So that will always be the case, and you can always change them as well. So this one, this time and date, is also a default tag that gets added. So let's look at how to add a tag in our system. So Lee is asking, what if you don't have tags in your original CSV contact file you upload? That's okay, you can always add them later. So let's do that while we're in John's contact record. So we can go into Manage Contacts. So we're in John, his full record, all his contact info. So we go to Manage Contacts over here, and maybe we need to also categorize him into something else. So he's all of these things. We can either create a new tag, we could remove some of the tags that he's associated with, or maybe we have one already in here that we want to add. So maybe we need to know that he came to the Health and Wellness Fair for March. Then we pick that and we're going to apply that tag. Now, we go back to search results. And we hover over John, the section over here, and we can also go see his quick action tag. So this is a view, this is kind of a cool view, that we can take action, or it's inline editing without having to go into the application or into each contact record. So these work, this is our contact import. This one was just that field that didn't put anything in there. So we have John and Mindy. So if we hover over John, then his notes come up. We can add a task or look at the tasks that are associated. Appointments, emails, quotes and orders we can create right here. Tags, internal forms, campaigns he's associated to, opportunities, and lead scoring. So let's take a look at tags. So here is the Health and Wellness Fair for March. We also could apply them here in our quick action view search. So apply tag or remove. Now let's go into Mindy and take a peek at hers. At her tags, here is the e-subscription we applied all to that whole list. Then we have our default time and date stamp, and then these are the two basic tags that were added. Now let's go look where we could find how we can change that customer from an imported category to a customer tag category. Because newsletter is part of the nurture tag. So we want customers to be part of the customer tags. So let's go take a look at that. And yes, Lee, since you missed the beginning, the webinar will be sent to you in a recording this afternoon, not to worry. So we're going to go into our tag management area. So in CRM, in settings, we're going to look at categories first. And taking a look at my categories are kind of a mess because I use them for playing as well as real use. So I have customer tags, and I have 6 tags that are associated to my customer tag category. I also have coaching tags or e-subscription. Now let's take a look at this one, my MHS contacts. That's my high school. I was the reunion coordinator for it. Now I have 30 tags associated to that category. Or what's another one? Prospects. As people come in and they have not purchased anything, they're still prospect, so I have different prospect tags. So let's take a look at my MHS contact tags in tags here. Now you can search for them, find the category we want, MHS contacts, and it's going to pull out those 30 contacts. So I had asked them in a survey if they wanted to have a dinner and dance or just a bar night or family picnic, that type of thing. So I asked them and sent them all an email that said, please fill out my survey so I can get your interest. So I had a banquet style event with music and dancing, meet and greet at a bar, what month they wanted to have the reunion. I gave them a couple of choices. I said September or October. So, and then when I had more that had picked September or October, I gave them different weeks to look at. And then we narrowed it down to that. And so I had, let's just say, banquet style event, music with dancing. I can see 67 people chose that. 61 chose family friendly outdoor. So they have 61 people have this tag associated to them. The meet and greet at a bar. 73 have this tag associated, but they are all within our MHS category. So let's go look for them in a tag search. So all of our tag searching is done in our CRM under contacts. and I want to find, let's just say meet and greet. All I have to do is stick in a little piece of that and look at MHS contacts meet and greet at a bar or restaurant. That's the tag, and then I'm searching. And 73 people have come up with all of their information. So then I look at their tags. This is just to reiterate what I was saying earlier. Look at the tag, and she's completed the survey. She's interested in the barbecue and the bar night. She's planning on attending, and she wanted to be part of my reunion committee. So by sending that survey out, I got a lot of information from them. So it just depends on your business model, what you need from your contact record or contacts to then help serve them better. Do you have any questions so far on that? All right, perfect. And don't hesitate if you do. So let's go look at how to change that category. Settings, CRM settings. And in our tags, we had customer tag. So let's do a search for a customer. Oops. I'm not used to typing on a laptop. And here's my customer in my imported category. So let's fix that. We're going to click on customer, and it's going to give us a drop down here, and we want to put them in our customer tags and return and search, or return to tags. Now let's do how to delete them. So I don't need this one any longer, but I can't delete it right from here because I have 3 people that have that tag. So I need to get rid of that first off of the people to then come back here and delete this. It won't allow you to. So let's try it. I'll show you. It's going to say your search returned 1 result. Yes, I want to delete that 1 tag, but if that tag, I guess it does allow you to do it, but if that tag is the only one that's associated to that individual, you might lose them in the big pile of people. So we want to always make sure that you remove a tag and you add a tag so that they are never tagless. Not that you'll lose them, they'll always be in here, but you'll lose who they are to you, if that makes sense. So we've done that simple import. We've added a new contact in several different ways. Let's look at a different way to look at the list of contacts. So we're going to go to CRM, contacts, and let's do a search. I want to find all the people that have a name starting with N and search. I have 58 people. So from here, I could edit the criteria, and I want to find everyone that contains an @ sign. Make sure that they have an email address. So 57 have an email address. Now let's save this. We're saving a report. We're going to say names are N and email. And save. I know that's a silly report to create, but just for learning purposes. Now over in up here we have a saved search. And our N and email is right here. So now I can take this search and go put it on our dashboard in just a minute. But first I want to show you how we can look at this list a little differently. Now that we've done this search, we can see it in our quick action view, so we can take action upon them one at a time. or we look at it in a different view. This is our list search. So, or list view. It shows us just a nice little screenshot of what it is. So we also could change what we see in this list by editing the criteria or columns. So we come up here to columns, and right now we see first name, last name, phone, email, birthday, tags, and spouse name. We don't need the spouse's name. We don't need the birth date any longer, but I do want their full name. Throw that over there, but I want that to be at the very top of it. So let's move that up. So I want name, and then it broken down to first and last, phone, and let's put their state in there. And then click OK. What that's doing is just allowing us to see exactly what we were wanting. Maybe. There we go. So we have their full name, first and last, phone number, email, and then what tags they're associated with, and then their state. And you can go to actions once you, maybe we want to export this whole list. I can click on the very top little square here to then go to actions and export this list. And I don't need everything in here. I just want their first name and last name and phone number. I have a lot of custom fields in here so it takes a little while to scroll down. So I've exported this list. These are all of my N people, first name, last name, and a phone number. So then I can save that and send it to somebody or work it at an event, whatever you're needing that for. So let's go look at how to save that or put that saved search on your dashboard. So we're going to go back to contacts. And remember, we had our saved search here, and we wanted our N and email. So we're going to go to the upside down arrow here and go to dashboard. And just for fun, let's add a new widget. On our widget are these little boxes here. And here's an example of my daughter's reunion. She's using my application to make her reunion happen, just like I did. And we sent out the survey. She's had 110 people reply. 16 want to be on the committee. 69 want dinner and dancing. 64 meet and greet. And so you got a really good sampling of what they're wanting. And 44 want October, 41 September. So some decisions need to be made. And 3 of them need hotel. So you can start thinking about how to accommodate that. So this is a widget, a search widget. So let's take a look at how to create them. We're going to add a widget. Scroll down to custom statistics is the one I like. You also could do saved and search report. Save search and save report. I don't like the way this one looks myself. I'm kind of a funny one about that. So I like the custom statistics and add to dashboard. You might try it for both ways and see which one you like best. And it's a saved search that I have, and it is in my contact category, and it is my N and email people, and save. So by this, all I have to do is click on the 57, and it takes me back to that list, which is really convenient because then I click on all of them, and I can go to actions, and all at once I could delete these contacts or assign to a company or create an appointment. Or I can pick and choose. Maybe I want Nathaniel and Nick to have a task created. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do with just that, with these actions, and quickly. And that's how you also, let me show you another thing on the dashboard. That's how you also would put your newsletter list there. So just pretend this was a saved search for your newsletter people, not just your ends and emails. It's for everybody that's receiving your email. So weekly, if you're going to do a weekly newsletter, all you'd have to do is click on the 57, select them all, actions, send a broadcast. And then it takes you to the email builder and you can write your email right there. So they've tried to make this as convenient as possible. Sometimes it doesn't feel as intuitive as you might think, but really it is. If you think about, if you have things set up properly, like a search, this makes it so simple. Or you can come in here to marketing and then you've got your email and broadcast. And you can pull in people from there too. So, and I know I don't want to get into that because don't want to confuse anybody. You're going to be hopefully going to Judy's class tomorrow where she'll teach you about email templates and broadcasts. So let's go over what we've done. We've added a new contact a couple of different ways, through the plus sign, through our contact, through our add a contact here. We have imported. We have talked about a web form, how they would get in there, and a landing page. The web form is inside Infusionsoft, and also the landing pages are inside Infusionsoft, and you would put those pages on your website or in your social media, and as soon as they click on that link and fill the form out and click on submit, then they are automatically pulled into an Infusionsoft campaign if that's set up that way. We have looked at the list view and the quick action view. A couple of different ways to search for contact. Let's do another one. I want to search with a tag here. So we did an N, we did an @ sign. Let's do newsletter. And you notice I'm only putting news in there. So then it brings up anything that might have that. So let's go to e-subscription and search. And it brings up 12. So then we can come over here, click on all, and save. And I want this to be my newsletter list. And I've already got that in there. So let's say blog list. And now that I have this here, they're saved, I can come over here to the dashboard, add a stat. It's a saved search that I did. And it was from our contact list. And it was my blog list, and save. Now, every week that I want to do a blog post update, all I have to do is click on 12. And then all of them, actions, and send a broadcast. And it will take us straight to our broadcasting center and get started. And it takes us to the email templates. I could pick a template that I've already got going from some time before, and maybe I want it to be use template. And then I can change things and schedule or send right here. So that is a little bit of context behind creating a list, creating then a search, then creating a save search, putting it on your dashboard. So you just have an easy bird's eye view every time you open Infusionsoft of what you have going on in there. All right. So how to add a tag to a contact, we've done that, and let's take a look at the contact record in detail. So we have, let's look at David. Now David is his first name, last name, company, if we wanted to add a company there, job title, person type, so who is David, where did he come from, lead source meaning Facebook or website or a newspaper article, a newspaper ad or something like that. So they call in and you may have filled this in for them. Their social and contact information, billing address, language and time zone. Now above here we have, next to David, we have his secondary address and optional, maybe a home address or business address, additional information, assistance, name, phone, social security, birth date, spouse name, anniversary. Person notes, we met David at the gym. And then yours, I also do Santa letters out of here, so you might see, you're seeing these are my custom fields from my application. So I send out a form to parents and they fill this form out, and then I would have information come back to me about little David that's wanting to get a toy from Santa and favorite child activity. So I get to talk about all of these items in the letter that I send to that child. I also sent a survey out to my colleagues wanting to know important people in your life. What leadership style best motivates you? How do you like to be led? What's your favorite indoor activity or outdoor? So I wanted to find out about them so then I could spit it out into an Excel spreadsheet, get to know them a little bit more, do spotlights every week for my team. That's just one way that I started using that, custom fields. What else? General, let's go down now. So what I like to say about the contact record is above this gray line, above the save button, is all about them. Who they are, where they came from. And then below the button is what we're going to do with them. So this is our action, and this is who they are. So below is tasks and appointments, completed tasks, previous appointments, notes. Here was a note that I created, canceled subscription. And these can be note templated. So if you have a note that is, or a process that you do daily, repetitively, someone calls in and they say, I would like to be added to your subscription for your newsletter, or I want to be, I would like to create an appointment, or what have you. So you can create note templates in here. And then actions will happen in the campaign builder as well if you set it up that way. Then you have forms they've submitted and recent email history here. You can also send an email out of the contact record to David. Then you also have scored and recent activity, follow-up sequences, campaigns, opportunities, orders, web profile, and file box. And I just realized our time is up. I'm so sorry to keep you all the way to the very end of this. You're going to be receiving this in an email in a couple of hours from Judy, and it'll have a couple of the email compliance as well as the tag resource. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me or Judy. I'll put that in the chat window real quick. There's mine and Judy. Right there. Keep our email addresses if you need them for anything. And I hope that this was basic enough but strong enough that you understand a little bit about each of the pieces. They all play a good part in all of it. Lee is asking where, or can I change my email address where you send the video review? Oh, you sure can. Why don't you email me or Judy, one of us. Judy is the one that's going to be sending it to you. If you could email Judy your email address, that'd be great. And you're welcome to ask questions to either one of us. And just watch the video again. There are other videos that you'll get sent as well. She will send out the YouTube channel that these get archived on, so you can watch last week's, last month's, the send email that will be on tomorrow, the campaign builder on Thursday. Each of them are the same topics, but the audience is different, and so we get different questions. So last week Judy did all 3 of them, so you might take a look at hers and see what her CRM review was on, and or what it entailed, and get a different insight. So thank you so much for attending today, and hope you got something out of it. Don't be afraid to get in here and play. And again, make this baby, this is your baby. Make it, personalize it, and enjoy it, and learn how to use it. It's a very strong tool, and I love it. So I hope you love it too. Thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.